Hey, this is Jecht from JechtSpencer.com, and today I'm going to be doing a book review for you. It is the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. The book is also known as the Go-Rin no Sho. And this book is actually a cumulative book. It's actually 5 books merged into one, which is why it's called the Five Rings book. There's actually 5 separate books that they brought together, each of them corresponding to each of the elements. So you have ground, which would be earth, you have air, you have water, you got fire, and you're like, what's the 5th element? Void. And that's like that emptiness, that space where nothing can be labeled, nothing can be defined. But you're probably thinking, who the heck is this Miyamoto guy, and what is this Book of Five Rings? Well, this guy, this swordsman, this samurai in particular, 1645, this man actually wrote this book, and at the time he had fought in over 60 samurai sword duels, most of them to the death, and he never lost one. So that kind of blew my eyes open and made me want to read this book. And it's a really short read. You can pick it up. It's only like 67 pages, something that you can blow through in probably one sitting very, very quickly. So I recommend it. I'd give it 4 stars. I mean, I wish it was a bit longer, to be honest with you, but who am I to say? This guy would kill me in present day age, so 4 stars for you, good sir. And what is it that you can actually apply to your life? What is the thing that makes this book so admirable for someone who's not a samurai? That was really bad. Samurai swordsman. Number 1, do not think dishonestly. It's about being vulnerable, about being authentic, about being real, about putting your best foot forward, about thinking with clear intentions and having good integrity. Number 2, the way is in the training. In today's age, people want the magic pill. They want the easy way. What's the quickest way that I can get to my particular destination? And while that is smart thinking, ultimately it's going to be boiled down to the actions that you take in life, in which case he calls this training. 3, become acquainted with every art. Whether you're an artisan, a merchant, a farmer, no matter what you decide you want to be in life, a warrior, know each and every role of each particular person so you can better understand not only economics, but how to make money, how to make sound money, and how to make your life better. 4, know the way of the professions. This goes much deeper in terms of like, are you a rice paddy farmer? Are you a writer? Are you a journalist? Number 5, distinguish between gain and loss in worldly matters. So what does this mean? You are either growing or you are spiraling downward. You're either going up or you're going down. Everyone just assumes that simply because you're not doing anything, that means you're just sitting there. You're not. No. The truth is you're either growing or you're dying. 6, develop intuitive judgment for everything. Have a basic understanding of a lot of the things that are going on in this world, whether it be from cooking to, say drinking, to writing, to film, to be very well acquainted with the world. Make yourself a modern day Renaissance. 7, perceive things that cannot be seen. Just because it can't be seen doesn't mean it's not there. Great example is your cell phone shooting something into the sky to a satellite that allows you to use the internet. Understand that just because something isn't there doesn't mean that it isn't there. Number 8, pay attention even to trifles. What does he mean by this? Well, trifles are something that might just be deemed as something that is not worth your time, but at least give it the moment's notice to properly grasp it and not just glaze over it and think it's not worth nothing. Sometimes you have all the knowledge you need in this world and you just haven't been taking action, and you think you just need that last little snippet. And you might end up actually glazing over something that could possibly change your life. And number 9, do nothing which is of no use. So if you think about today, you got television, you got radio, you got all this multimedia stuff. You could literally watch television until the day you die, never go outside, never accomplish anything, never have a life. Get away from that toxic ass shit. Get down, chopper! He talks specifically about having intent. A lot of people are very wishy-washy about what they want in life. Do you want $1 million? Then center yourself on $1 million. Do you want a 6-pack? Then center yourself on a 6-pack. Give yourself very clear and defined goals. His goal when he was in a duel was to strike the enemy down. to kill the enemy, to cut the enemy. That was his goal. So every single action he took was to get to that point where he was ultimately the winner. I thought this was quite funny, but Miyamoto says, it shows inferior strategy of a weak spirit that men should be dependent on the length of their sword. At one point he talks about crossing the ford. Now crossing the ford is the equivalent to crossing into life. Now what does that mean? He says, many a times your friends will be left at the harbor. So let's say you're on one side of the river and you want to get to the other side. All your friends stay behind because they're too afraid. But the thing is that you have sound strategy, you know your route, you know exactly where you want to go, and you know the soundness of your ship. But the things that he said is that if you get out there and things start to turn for the worse, you must do everything in your power to get to the other side of that river, to the other side of that ford. And this says a lot not only about samurai fighting, it says a lot about life. Because a lot of people end up going out, they think they have this masterful plan, they have their life all mapped out, ready, rock and roll. Their friends think they're crazy, they end up leaving them behind, and they think it's just going to be easy. And it's not. It's going to be a lot of turmoil, turbulence, fighting, a lot of inner self-sabotage, a lot of war. And you have to get to the other side, no matter what. He said if you attain this spirit, that you will be victorious in everything. And this was a quick one, but, I want to end it off with a quote. He says, today is victory over yourself yesterday. Tomorrow is your victory over lesser men. So he's saying that you have to fight, you have to battle to be better than the man you were yesterday. And then the following day, you have to be better than the person you were the day previous, who was a lesser man. So you're growing. This book is a lot deeper than, the brief highlights I went into it, but you can go check it out. Once again, it's the Book of 5 Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. I recommend this book. I give it 4 stars. Just a really profound book and one of the greatest pieces of Japanese literature out there right now. I mean, who better to learn than from a guy who was able to slash down over 60 opponents? I mean, there's literally not been anything like that in the history of man. So, pick up this book. Once again, it's the Book of 5 Rings. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe, like, and or comment. This is Jecht from JechtSpencer.com. And good fortune to you, my friend.